Hey team, welcome back to another episode of the Jenn Commandments podcast. I am your host, Jenn Wien. I'm an engineer currently working in Wisconsin. I grew up in the Chicagoland area and I went to college in Michigan. Hey, fuck y'all. I've been trying to start this goddamn podcast for the last hour. If you ever get the opportunity to like record something like this, like record content in any sort of way, know that the you think my dog is outside. See, we're still not starting the fucking podcast, y'all, because my dog is barking outside. One second. All right. We just been coming up with some roadblocks today. How y'all doing? It's been a fucking chaotic day. Um Work's been chaotic lately. Just like nothing has been working the way that you expect it to, and that causes a bunch of problems, makes us look not great to the cut. Like there's just some things, and so um I have learned now that that's just like par for the course. But like when I first started this job, it gave me a lot of anxiety because like I didn't know that troubleshooting was such a big part of working within like any sort of development or IT like job. And so I just thought I was absolutely terrible and that I didn't know anything. And like largely that is true, and largely I still don't know a lot. But I know enough now to know that troubleshooting is just a part of this, you know? And so that's been cool. If you notice that my voice is sort of hoarse, uh, I was around a lot of kids this weekend. And you know how that is. So I've been also, even though I've been a little sick, I've still been training for my 10K, which is on Saturday. And so, well, my first 10K is on Saturday. And so, um, yeah, my body is just like sort of taking hits left and right now. It's a very busy time. I knew that this month was going to be very busy. And so, that's just what it is. That's just where we're at right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, how y'all doing? I haven't talked to y'all in a while. I tried to start this once already. I ran into a bunch of roadblocks. Oh, I was talking about how the time there's like, I don't know, like 30 minutes between the time that you think you're going to start the goddamn podcast and when you actually start it. Cuz you got to get everyone situated, whether that just be yourself or when I have guests. Everyone's got to be situated. Everyone's got to have water. Everyone's got to like the way that they look. We got to like, I don't know, drink water, make sure that you're prepped. Like, I don't know. You got to like the camera angle. You have to do the mic test. There's just like a number of things that you have to figure out. And today's process was just like, usually it takes anywhere, on like a good day it can take like 10 minutes, but on like a bad day like today it took like over an hour. And that's just like par for the course, man. Like I started the podcast, hated the way that it started, and then we just got to restart. Like yeah, it's been a chaotic day. Work's been chaotic. um and I think that that's good. I sort of love the chaos. That's sort of the environment that I thrive in. And so I've been enjoying that. I'm dressed up as a cow today. If you're not listening to a video version of the podcast, and if you're just listening to audio, I'm dressed up as a cow. I To celebrate my first physical milestone, I got myself like a workout set. And I'm really excited about it. But it's a pink cow set. And it's just, to me, it's symbolic of a lot of things like cow, pig, anything sort of like that were things that were used against me as a child. And like not like we talked about before, any of the bullying that happened. And so like I don't mean anybody like from school or anything like that, but like to just sort of take those things back and be like, girl, go fuck yourself, has as an adult has been like very rewarding. And like I just thought it was very fun to do it for something that was like a physical goal of mine, you know. And so, yeah, I love her. I love my little pink cow set. I'm also just been trying to agitate my face as much as I can during this month. So I'm just gonna fuck around with makeup all month. It's actually been so fun. It's been such a fun creative endeavor to be playful with makeup in this sort of context. A lot of the time growing up, like the only context I knew for makeup was to like try to be like impressive and hot and whatever. And I've sort of changed my relationship to makeup over the last couple years, and that's been super fun to just like have fun with makeup and like enhance beauty but not overshadow like what I already got going on. You know what I mean? Like I used to hide behind really big lips, and like to a certain extent I still do that. But I do think it's less. Like I used to rock a red lip and like a big bright lip all the time, like almost every day. And I guess just like that comes with wearing less and less makeup over the years. Like I will still do like a big bright lip like when I go out sometimes, but um I don't feel the need to do it like during the school day. You know what I mean? Like it used to be like 7:30 in the morning and that's what I was wearing. You know what I mean? It's just like a fucking lot, you know. Um, so yeah, I guess yeah. Ariana once was like me, talks about Ariana Grande like she's my friend. I go, Ariana, shut the fuck up. She did like a video for REM Beauty once, which is her like makeup line. And she said like as she's gotten older, makeup has become less about hiding. And I sort of agree with that. Like yes, I was so confident that I didn't wear makeup to a wedding this summer, which was really impressive to me. Like, um, historically would just like never. That is just like the most, and not even as it relates to like so much of like how confident I feel. It's also like making a statement, I guess, about like how womanly I think I should be and that sort of thing as well. And so, um, that was like a fun moment for me to like retrospectively like look back. Oh my god, that means the same thing. Anyway, um to be like, "Oh, good for you." You know, like you did that. And I don't know, it's just been like it's been fun. How like I don't know, October's fun, spooky season is fun because like it is makeup that is supposed to be like you're turning yourself into something else. Like the goal itself, like sure you can want to look cutesy or whatever, or maybe your outfit or your chosen costume is like maybe a sexier costume or whatever, but like attractive doesn't have to be the goal if you don't want it to be. It can just be fun. And I like makeup as a art form, I think is such a fun creative expression. And so I don't know, it's been really fun to like play around with makeup in this way and really not feel the pressure to be like quote unquote like hot or anything at the end, to just come up with some sort of product that I think I'm happy with, you know. Okay, so let's get into last week's episode. Um the last time you guys heard from me, I was rather spicy, love. And god damn it, sometimes I deserve to be spicy, I think. I think that's a woman's right. Um but on a real note, you know, I've unpacked all that. I'm done grieving all that. When I recorded the podcast, it had happened the day before, you know, and so I was still in the anger phase or whatever. And certainly I think much of that anger is warranted. But just like every other emotion, anger comes and it goes. Um, and now I'm just like happy for the newfound standards, you know. But I did get to have a conversation because in my sort of anger about the objectification of myself and women at large, I think I made it unclear that my disgust with the way that my body was taken advantage, like, I don't know. I think I want to reiterate that I felt disgusted because I realized that I gave my body to somebody who didn't deserve it. Not that I had sex, I guess, is like the main point. Cause like I think there were times, and for transparency's sake, like the episode before I made all the cuts that made me comfortable, um, was like, I don't know, 50 minutes, and it was only like 29 when it came out, right? I think it wasn't as all encompassing of maybe the disgust that I felt, but the I think the cuts that I made and where I spoke about that disgust got cut because I felt as though for God, some godforsaken reason he were to listen to it, in my head he doesn't deserve to hear like that, you know, that vulnerable reasons why I feel disgusted or like whatever, you know, like I think it less has to do with like, I don't know, sex is fine, and like it's okay to have casual sex, and I know that like a lot of, I think it was a fair assessment also, cuz like one of my besties reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I think some of your shame could still be rooted in like, you know, some of your residual like religious trauma." And I was like, "TTT." Well, I wasn't like TTT. I was sort of defensive about it. But I have been thinking about it, just in case, you know. And I think sort of my hesitance to ever reach out to somebody in a casual way, I think could still be rooted in my like religious stuff. However, my disgust with the fact that like a man used my body with not good intentions, you know. Cuz like, listen, not to harp on a dead horse, you know what I mean? Not to beat that motherfucker to the goddamn ground, but you know, the fact that homeboy even knew to be like, this is casual, means that on some level he knew that it wasn't casual for at least one party, whether it be he or I, right? Right? So I'm annoyed, rightfully. And like, I have since removed this person from my life because nobody's allowed to treat me that way, right? Nobody who is going to stay in my circle and not like fully acknowledge that part of it, that on some level he knew, right? Because like I can take accountability for like my side of things, right? But I will not take an apology that's like, sorry, I didn't know. You're not a third grader. Shut the fuck up, you know? So that, I don't know. That's the follow up that I want to make. And yeah, but I don't know. I appreciate getting feedback like that of like, hey, you came in sort of hot on this topic. Um, do you think it could be this? And like I trust her opinion on things, and so I was able to take it into consideration and like think about it, where like the difference is like if a stranger were to tell me that shit, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. I might think about it for a second, but like for the most part I'm probably going to be like, go fuck yourself. If I think it could have merit, I'll ask Bestie about it. you know, yeah. Ooh. Okay, so let's talk about last weekend. Um, Last weekend I went to the motherland. Woo! Motherland, motherland, motherland. Right? I went to the motherland. I drove down early Saturday morning. It's just easier for me usually to come down on a Saturday morning because I'm an early riser. I think most of my energy is in the morning. And so I might as well get up and drive and then like do the activities and shit afterwards because like I'm not going to sleep well that Saturday night anyway. I might as well sleep in my own bed and just like be tired from the drive as opposed to like be tired from not sleeping well. Does that make sense? Anyway, um so I pick up Bestie and then we go and pick up her kids and we get some snacks and stuff for them before we pick them up. And then we go drop off Dante at other bestie's house, and then we grab them, and then we grab her and her kids, and all of us gather up and we go to the pumpkin patch. Okay, and it was a fucking event. Okay, like it was a chaotic fucking day. It was such a fun day. I had it was one of my favorite days that I've had in a while. Like, I just such enjoy being around people who like know me, one, who have known me my whole life, right? Um, who have seen me through all phases of my we talk about this every time I go home. Who have seen me through all phases of my life and just like trust me, you know? It was just very nice to feel at home with people and be around kids who like, you know, see me as a real full grown adult cuz like I'm around other adults most of the time. And like to other adults, I'm a kid adult. And so like I'm getting to the point where I'm not a kid adult to most adults now. You know, like I have like the post office lady be asking me if I have kids and shit. I'm like, no, ma'am. um, but like, I still like your 20s are still the adolescence of your adult years, right? And so to be around little humans who think that like you're an adult for real and that like you have your shit together and like, um, you know like you know the answers to shit and that sort of thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Um, and you try your best to like know the answers to shit when you're around them, you know. Um, but I can't imagine doing it full time. I have such a respect every time I go home and I stay with friends and family who have kids and of various ages. Like all of my friends have kids at various ages, and so um, to see the different trials and tribulations and also like shining moments and like fun times that you get to have as a parent at those different stages is just like so cool and interesting. um but holy fuck, you know, it's a lot to think about. It's like holy shit that like but like also the longer I was also thinking about this on the drive home, like the longer that you wait to do that stuff, like the older that you're going to be while doing it, and like the more tired you're gonna be, and like I don't know, like I'm tired now. Gee, I don't I don't know if it's in the cards for me, you know. Bitch, I'm tired. Like I think I spent so much of like, and not all my mom friends are the same way, but like I don't know. I spent so much of my childhood trying to just survive. I don't know if I can do it in my adulthood. I'm still doing it, but like this is the least amount of responsibilities I've ever had in my life, and I'm not really eager to give that up, you know. I'm really, as much as like I say that I'm busy and I complain about being tired and everything that I'm tired about is 100% chosen by me. And I think that's been such a cool part of this year for me. Um is that everything I'm tired about, everything that I'm complaining about is 100% like my shit. I'm putting myself through that shit. Ain't no one else putting me through any of the shit that I'm going through right now. This is on me. And so if I'm going through anything, it's probably on me. I probably chose it in some sort of capacity, you know? I love that. I love choosing the things I'm struggling with right now. And I don't, that's why I think it would be hard to be in a relationship too. And I don't know, I'm willing to compromise for a lot of things. I think compromise is like a sign of intelligence, you know, and not willing to like bend your ideas, but willing to come to some sort of middle, and understanding between two parties, right? Like, I think that's really cool. Um, However, I don't know. Your life, your life is something different. Your life is yours, and like it is a gift. And like I think it's your responsibility to take your wants, needs, and like desires into consideration before like anyone else's. And I think maybe there will come a point in my life where I will be like, okay, I'm ready to give up my wants, needs, and desires and start to and be open to compromising. And I think for me, largely before, it was like I would like to meet somebody that I'm interested in making those compromises for. And now at this point, I don't know if that's the way that I look at it anymore. I might just like set some goals and be like, once that's done, maybe I'll put some more effort into it again or something. Because men do it like that all the time. That's how men, they're like, yeah, y'all ever heard of that taxi cab theory? That like men will, whoever, like men aren't ready until they're ready. And then the first feasible girl that it is, once they are ready, that's just going to be it. They could have the most specialist spangling ass bitch in front of them, but if they ain't ready, it don't fucking matter. And are you ready? Hey ho, are you ready? Let's be honest. Babe, I still eat nacho Lunchables and Monster for breakfast 3 out of 5 days a week. No, I don't think I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? Come on. And that, like, I don't know if marriage is ultimately my goal because I don't know if I believe in marriage. Obviously, since that thing got triggered, it's something that I am now reevaluating because I'm like, what is my fucking goal actually? Do I have a fucking goal or do I just want somebody to like me? You know what I mean? Because, like, if I keep chasing men, and like, chasing is like a reach, actually. If I keep finding myself with or around or in entanglements with men who usually have very like traditional values, right? Clearly, that's something that I subconsciously feel is my path. Whether I can talk on this podcast all day and be like, I don't believe in this, I don't believe in that, blah, 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 blah. Right. But fucking research survey says, ho, that like, that's not how I feel. Because consistently, I have gone after people who eventually will want marriage, kids, etc., etc. Now, here's the sort of conclusion that I've come to. I reject the idea of lawful marriage. However, I see the value in it as a business partner, as a cuz to me marriage is a contract because that's what marriage is. Okay? We're talking logically here. We're not talking with our fucking emotions for a second, okay? Marriage is a contract. So, and this is the level that we're at, okay? If you want to get to a level someday where you have money in a way that's going to be sustainable for you and future generations, this is the way that you need to start to think about these things, in my opinion. Maybe I'm slinging some fucking bullshit right now, but marriage is a contract, okay? And listen, I don't know if I'll ever trust somebody enough to marry them contractually without a prenup. Okay? And I think that that's just fair for all parties involved because I would never want a man to think that I'm marrying him for money. And also, I don't want a man to ever marry me for money, bitch. Because in case you haven't fucking realized, I plan on creating some wealth on my fucking own. Okay? And so I don't want to get screwed just like the next red pill man doesn't want to get screwed. Okay? Now, to talk about it on an emotional standpoint, I am mentally unwell, right? Historically, I have had problems where I think that I'm a runner, I'm a track star, and like sometimes I think that I should just leave a situation before it leaves me. And so this might sound crazy, okay? That's why I said I'm mentally ill, okay? Um Truthfully, the truth of the matter is I do think that if I was locked in, okay, that I would be like, okay, we're locked in. We're fucking locked in. And I know that divorce is pretty simple, especially with a prenup, I may add. Okay? Okay? Um fucking fucking what are the statistics, right? It's like 65% of marriages end in divorce. Man, contracts end, okay? That's such as life, okay? um I would be like, man, I said till death do us part, ho, because like I am a very loyal person, and so like I view relationships as like as marriage. Like I don't know, when I lock into something, I lock into something, okay, to a fault almost. So in my head marriage is something I'm apprehensive about as it is, right? And so if a motherfucker got me sprung enough to consider marriage, bitch, then like, I don't know. I'm going to lock in, probably. And I know that he locked in enough to put a ring on it. So I'm like, all right, we locked in. And I think that would make me feel real secure. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a security thing. But to be fair, I've had men do real foul shit when I had rings on my fingers that looked like engagement rings. Mind you, I was too young. Mind you, I was too young. I was like, y'all, can I tell you some white trash shit real quick? My friend that I was talking to, I talked about him a little bit last week because I was telling him I was like, we was unpacking some shit together, as we do. And he said something along the lines of like, well, isn't having like a serious relationship in high school like white culture? Okay, sorry. Anyway, so when I was like 15, I had like a promise ring that looked like like I'm dead fucking like I had people ask me that shit. I looked like a child bride. And like my mom knew that it was wrong. She begged me to like I wouldn't listen. I was really we'll unpack that relationship someday. We will unpack that relationship someday. I think I just need to write about it. It's not for vocals. And like the motherfuckers who would be mad about it, they not finna read it. You know what I mean? No shade, no tea. Anyway, I went home. We went to a pumpkin patch. It was busy as hell. We was talking about kids. We was talking whatever. We was talking about marriage. We was talking about whatever. Um, I had a great time. I had a great time. I was with they little families. I get to be in part a part of these families. Y'all just let me invade your house for the weekend, and like we get to do activities together. Um, y'all usually make breakfast for me. I try to go like fun grocery shopping for the people's houses that I invade. I haven't done it for Carly yet. Carly, I'm sorry. I haven't had time. I've never stayed for like a full weekend, but I'll go to the like local grocery store and I'll get like fun groceries where I'll get like orange juice or me when orange juice is like the fun groceries. No, but I'll get like nice Dunkin' coffee or we'll do I don't know, just like fun shit that like maybe you wouldn't normally get cuz it's like a splurge, you know. I try to do that cuz like y'all let me stay at your house for the weekend and like that's very kind. Um and like I don't know, it's just like the amount of love that I have been a part of in the last year has been super fun. And I'm very grateful. And then on Sunday, I got to go to a wedding. And I've known both of the people in the wedding since middle school at least. But I've known one of the people getting married since we were like literally 6 or 7. Like I've known her forever. Um, what I cried the whole time. I I'm like struggling to even put into words what that feels like to see um two people at sort of every phase of our lives um and like various relationships to one another, various relationships that to one another as in like me to them or them with each other, seeing them through those phases and like really figuring out how much they love each other has been such a like joy and honor to watch. I got to see some people from home that I haven't seen in years and years and years. I got to talk to some people from home for the first time and like I don't know, get to maybe like I don't know, humanize each other to each other. I don't know. Just like be like, yeah, I'm a real human being to one another, you know, and not just like entities. Cause like that's sort of how it feels of like groups that I didn't talk to in high school. Like I know of them and like I know them generally, but like I've never really spoken to them. And so getting to speak to people that like I've only known of and get to, I don't know, it's been so fun to really reconnect with home in that way. And I never thought that, like, if you asked 18-year-old Jenn, who who was just so nasty about home and was just like, I can't wait to like never see you fuckers again. Like I was so on one and I was such an angry teenager, you know? Um, if you ever told her that like 10 years later, not 10 years, but like nearly 10 years, 8.5, 9 years later, that she would love that place so much and want to see it succeed and want to see every corner and everyone who's from the area and just like feel understood and I don't know, care about home the way that I always did, but felt, I don't know, just like corny. And I guess it is corny. I guess like to care about things and to I don't know, try and to want to see things be better and that sort of thing. It can be feel corny, and maybe it is, but I don't know. I think it's worth it, and um, I don't know. I love home, and I love seeing home, and I love being active home. And I never thought that I would feel that way again. So yeah, thank you everyone uh, for that warmness that you've made me feel over the last 2 years. You know. Okay. So that bridges us into the last topic. Of because I love home so much, I want to see home be better. Um, and although I didn't grow up in Chicago proper, um, Chicago proper is something that I feel an immense amount of pride for. And no matter how far I am away from home, it is something that I rep. And it is something that I think is one of my most defining features. I think if you have ever traveled around the world, you know that Chicago people find each other wherever we go. And it is such a rich and loving community and understanding amongst one another that we are from a place where we're not going to take your shit. The media has demonized Chicago since I was a child. And the reason why I know that they've demonized Chicago since I was a child is because it was prominent in the way that my family spoke to me. It was prominent in the way that, I don't know, we were brought up as a city. And it was prominent in the way that the adults in the room of the suburb talked about the city. They would say it was dangerous down there or up there or whatever, because we were in the south suburbs. Um, and like right wing media has tried to control this narrative about Chicago for years and years and years. And truthfully, I don't think Chicago has been as dangerous as the media has portrayed it to be since, I want to say, the 21st century started. And maybe in the 80s and 90s, Chicago was dangerous, right? I remember some of the stories that were told to me by my brother. I remember there are things that I remember being told, right? That maybe crime rates in Chicago used to be higher, right? However, I don't think Chicago's even in the top 10 for most dangerous cities anymore. And that's been something that's been true for, I think, the last 5 years at least. And I know that because it was a statistic I would reference frequently when I would talk to my racist Michigan classmates, okay? Or their parents. Now, because of this narrative, those who already fall victim to Donald Big Daddy T's propaganda are susceptible to thinking that it would be perfectly okay for Donald Trump to deploy federal U.S. military to onto Chicago civilians to help ICE in their raids, to take all kinds of people, not even immigrants, um, and basically detain them for no good reason, and torment them and possibly give them back to their families. Um, and I wanted to talk about it because it's important to talk about things that are happening in your community. And I want you to know that I am unequivocally against ICE. I am unequivocally against Donald Trump. And if it comes down to it, I will make my way down to Chicago and we will start protesting the way that we need to be protesting. I do think it is something that is worthy protesting of. One of Bestie's posted a Facebook status today, I think, saying that she would like to go protest ICE. So I can reach out to her and see if we can platform that. By the time that this is out, that may have already happened. I think it's absolutely ridiculous what this government, this federal government, is doing to the United States. It is employing fear tactics to cities that don't give a fuck about Donald Trump. These cities do not care about Donald Trump. And Chicago specifically, it's an awful note to end. I want to, many of my friends and family, their friends and family are here. Stay safe. If you need resources, let me know. It is a really grim time for our community. And I want you to know that it starts in cities, but it goes everywhere. Eventually, there will be checkpoints, and you'll have to show whether you're a citizen or not at tolls. You'll have to carry papers. My great grandmother, maybe it was my great grandmother, or it was my great great grandmother, whatever, whichever one was the one that immigrated here. She's originally from Holland. Because she had dark eyes and dark hair, she had to carry around papers saying that she wasn't Jewish. And what does that sound really similar to? Huh. Interesting, right? And I remember my mother telling me that as like, isn't that a crazy thing? It's heartbreaking. And at what point is it going to be too much? At what point are you going to look him in the face and say, this is too much? It's fucking despicable the way y'all suck his dick. Fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump.